Can you talk about the job that DeAndre Morgan did coming back? And
well, he spent he came back last week. Actually, probably didn't practice with the varsity until the first two teams till Thursday. We put him on a scout team for 2 days to make sure that he got a lot of different reps and could work through his area. At his pace to make sure he was good. But that's just an example of a guy being here for a couple of years playing a position that has some knowledge of what he's supposed to do, and that's where experience comes to play. When you get your opportunity, there wasn't any different coverages or anything that he hadn't done, so it helped him to play faster and helped us certainly.
Well, when he was at his best for you, say last year, I mean, was he a pretty solid corner?
I think he has a lot of growing up and things to do out there. There's certain games that he played real well, and there's other games that he didn't. So it's a matter of consistency, I think, in his case. That each and every week is a challenge, and his thing, as I said, I think would be a consistency thing from his play last year.
What was it down with Bowen show you?
Well, that he's not really back to where he was, but he's the same thing. He's just starting off again. He hadn't played football in a long time. You can see the instincts there, but as he said, after he ran around. Tuesday was his first real practice that he wore shoulder pads, because he couldn't even go in pads because we had the helmet, shoulder pads. So by the time we got him out there, after he woke up Wednesday morning, he was awful sore. So he's just getting back in football shape. But we wanted to get him in the game, so we haven't tackled. It's the first time he's been tackled or hit, so we've laid off of him. So we wanted to get him out there and get him in a situation where he hopefully caught the ball and got tackled and was able to get back up and go back to the huddle. So it was a confidence building point for him too.
Well,
and he certainly will hopefully get better, as we go on and help us.
I just asked that because he's number 2 on the depth chart this week, so he must have shown something.
Owen Spencer went to the hospital with a head, so you know that one too.
Yeah.
So
let's take some questions from the phones real quick. Heather Dennis, you have a question for Coach?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Anybody else?
nice talking to you, Heather.
Thanks, Bob.
This is Ray Fedapolda from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette.
Hey.
Tom, I wanted to ask you, one wouldn't think that a sophomore would set an NCAA record for something like pass attempts without an interception. Can you just tell me a little bit about Wilson's approach and why he's been able to take care of the ball so well?
Well, it's pretty amazing seeing where he missed a couple games last year and really, did this probably with about 12 games. I think he has a real good understanding of what we want to do right now. Certainly last year, that might not have been the case. He'd pull the ball down and take off and run with it. It hadn't been because he's been afraid to throw the ball, because there's certainly been multiple occasions when defenders got their hands on the ball but just couldn't quite catch it. I think he's much better this year in his decision-making process. We've worked hard this year with him, and he's done a nice job dropping the ball off, but he can still use his legs to run around. And when he gets out of the pocket and run around, he's able to make good decisions, still throwing the ball down the field.
I read somewhere that after he threw that pick against Clemson last year, that he vowed to not throw an interception again, which strikes me as odd for a quarterback, because that's part of it's part of playing the position. Is he especially attentive to to taking care of the ball and not making big mistakes?
I think he is, and I don't know. I wasn't there when he said that. I think if he said it, it was meant as a competitor, that he was going to do his best not to throw an interception. As I said before, he's not afraid to throw the football, and he's not afraid to throw the football where he thinks it's supposed to go. So that's just his competitive nature coming out.
Any other questions from the phones?
Yeah, I have one. John Grupp from Pittsburgh.
Hi. Go ahead.
On Wilson again.
Mm-hmm.
The coaches here say that his release is about as quick as they've seen since they've been here. How much has that played a role in him being able to get rid of the ball quickly and his accuracy with the interceptionless streak?
Well, I guess that comes from his baseball days. He plays second base here and turns a double play, so he gets rid of the ball fast. That's all part of the coaching with Coach Bible does a great job with him. I think, as I said before, he's got pretty good decision-making. And when he knows where he wants to go with the ball, he gets it out of his hands fast. So that's a good thing for us.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions from the phones?
Okay.
Coach, the numbers, the statistics say that the defense is playing really well in terms of yardage allowed and points allowed. You said the other night you think it can be good, but probably isn't exactly where you want it to be. What do you see that's good and bad about your defense right now?
Well, I think you have to take into consider, and it's no disrespect to who we played, but I think going forward we'll have a much better idea. And certainly after 3 games that's good, but it's going to be much better if it's that way after 12 games.
Can you talk specifically about the development of your linebackers and how they've come along these last couple of games?
Well, I think Ray Michelle has done an excellent job in the middle. He's built upon his experience and knowledge what he's doing. I think Adi Cole and Dwayne Maddox are still in development stages. Dwayne's played some last year, and I think that's helped him. Adi plays really fast when he knows where he's going. Sometimes when he's not sure, he's kind of hesitant, and that's just going to come with time and experience. He made a couple real nice plays in the open field last week, is what he has to do to play that position for us. So they're two young guys that are learning on the run, and they're working hard at getting better.
How has Brandon Bishop looked for you in the time he's been?
He looks like a freshman, but he has ability, and he's another one of those guys that he's a smart kid. He's football smart and school smart. And, he doesn't make mistakes, and that's the most important thing right now. He gets lined up and gets in the right spot, and he seems to tackle well, which is what we're trying to get out of that position.
And how about Ruiz in the 3 games so far?
I don't think he kicked the ball real well Saturday night, but I think the previous 2 games, I think he was fine. He just didn't seem to hit it as good on Saturday night. But he works hard at it, and certainly he can be a weapon for us. He's got a good enough leg.
This will be the last game before you start ACC play. So is there anything you really want to see out of this team in this game before you start the conference?
No, we have to play a great football game, and I think that's what we have to aim for. Is certainly could use a victory heading into ACC play. So we have to play a great football game, very sound. It's going to be like 60 minutes of middle drill the way it looks with their offense and defense. So it's be a hard-fought, slug them out, hit them in the mouth type of game. So this is the old school football.
Do you kind of like it that way? I mean,
Yeah, I love it. Yeah,
so you admire what they do a little bit.
absolutely.
How familiar are you with Frank Signetti?
I've met him. I don't know him, personally.
When you say you love old school football, what is
Well,
it
it's the
about
old
it?
smash mouth, line up in the eye and 2 backs and run the football. And that's what they do with a great play action pass. And same thing with their defense. They try to knock you back and create a new line of scrimmage, and they're attacking the line of scrimmage. So it's it's not this spread the field and play touch football stuff.
What have you seen from Brian Slade, no receivers first time?
He's similar to a lot of guys. When we look at our depth and our position and think if somebody goes down and we're going to be in trouble and where are we going to find the next player from, he's the next guy in the defensive line that's going to have to play. So, is to get him in the game sooner rather than later, and get him some experience. And, with our history here, he's going to be playing a lot of football.
Tom, George Bryan proved last year that he could catch passes, but he's your leading receiver right now after 3 games. What's he done better? You talk about his improvement.
Well, I think the thing is that, as we said Saturday night, because of a lot of the blitzes and things they did, they voided a lot of the underneath zones, and that is where the ball was supposed to go. Russell made good decisions. He was the guy that was there. If it was something else, he might not have got the football. So it's all part of what the defense is going to give you, and the quarterback makes a decision and throws it to the guy that's open. He's been